I found the receipt in her coat pocket on a Tuesday morning in March. It was from a hotel downtown, a fancy one with a rooftop bar that overlooked the city. The date was from last Thursday, the night she said she was working late at the office. My name is Marcus. I'm 38 years old, and I've been married to my wife, Vanessa, for 12 years. We have 2 kids, Emma, who's 10, and Tyler, who's 8. I work as an accountant at a mid-sized firm in Chicago. Vanessa works in marketing for a tech company. I stood in our bedroom holding that receipt, my hands shaking. The charge was for $347. Room service, minibar, premium suite. She'd used our joint credit card. I didn't confront her immediately. Something told me to wait, to think, to be smart about this. I folded the receipt and put it in my wallet. Then I went downstairs and made breakfast for the kids, like nothing had happened. Vanessa came down 20 minutes later, dressed for work, her hair perfect, her smile bright. She kissed me on the cheek and grabbed a piece of toast. "Love you," she said. "Love you too," I replied. She left. I watched her car pull out of the driveway. Then I sat down at the kitchen table and started making a plan. That evening, I acted normal. We had dinner together, pasta with meatballs, the kids' favorite. Vanessa told stories about her day at work, laughed at Tyler's jokes, helped Emma with her homework. She was a good mother. That made everything harder. After the kids went to bed, we watched television on the couch. She leaned against me, her head on my shoulder. I put my arm around her and felt nothing but emptiness. "You okay?" she asked. "You seem quiet." "Just tired," I said. "Long day." She nodded and went back to watching the show. I stared at the screen without seeing anything. The next morning, I called in sick to work. After Vanessa left and the kids went to school, I went through the house systematically. I checked her drawers, her closet, her desk. I found more receipts, dinners at expensive restaurants, tickets to shows I'd never attended with her, charges from stores I didn't recognize. Then I checked her laptop. She'd left it at home by accident. Her email was still logged in. I started reading, and what I found made my stomach turn. The emails went back 6 months. His name was Bradley. He worked at her company, in the sales department. The messages started professional, then friendly, then flirtatious, then explicit. "I can't stop thinking about last night. You're incredible. I wish I could wake up next to you every morning. He doesn't appreciate you the way I do." I read through dozens of them, my chest getting tighter with each one. They'd been to that hotel 4 times in the past 2 months. They'd planned weekends away, talked about running off together, fantasized about a life without me in it. But here's what struck me most. Vanessa complained about money constantly in those emails. She told Bradley she felt trapped financially, that I controlled everything, that she deserved better, which was strange because we made financial decisions together. We had joint accounts. She had her own credit card. Unless she was spending more than I knew about, I logged into our bank accounts, started going through statements from the past year, and there it was, thousands of dollars in charges I didn't recognize, cash withdrawals, transfers to accounts I'd never heard of. She'd been hiding money and spending hours. I sat there for 3 hours, documenting everything. I took screenshots of emails, printed bank statements, made copies of receipts. I created a folder on a USB drive and labeled it evidence. Then I cleared my browser history and put her laptop back exactly where I'd found it. That night, I lay in bed next to Vanessa and thought about our marriage. We'd met in college, both studying business, both ambitious, both wanting the same things. Or so I thought. The wedding was small but beautiful. Her parents paid for most of it. We'd honeymooned in Mexico, spent a week on the beach, talked about our future like it was something solid we could hold on to. When Emma was born, Vanessa took 6 months off work. I worked overtime to cover the bills. She went back to her job when Emma turned 1, and we hired a nanny. When Tyler came along, we did the same thing. I thought we were partners. I thought we were building something together. Now I realized I'd been building alone while she planned her exit. The next morning, I called a lawyer. The lawyer's name was Patricia. She was in her 50s, sharp-eyed, with a reputation for winning difficult divorce cases. I found her through a colleague who'd gone through a messy split 2 years earlier. I sat in her office and told her everything. Showed her the evidence, the emails, the bank statements, the hotel receipts. She listened without interrupting, taking notes on a yellow legal pad. When I finished, she looked up at me. "This is solid," she said. "Very solid. Your wife has been committing adultery and financial deception. Illinois is a no-fault divorce state, but judges still consider misconduct when dividing assets and determining custody." "What do I do?" I asked. "First, you protect yourself financially. Open a separate bank account today. Start redirecting your paychecks there. Document every shared expense. Second, keep gathering evidence. If she's still seeing this man, we need a pattern of behavior. Third, don't tell her anything. Not yet." "When do I tell her?" "When you're ready to file. When everything's in place. When she can't hide assets or prepare a defense. You strike fast and you strike hard." I nodded. "How long will this take?" "To prepare? 2 weeks, maybe 3. To finalize the divorce? 6 months minimum, possibly longer if she contests." I left Patricia's office feeling strange. Not relieved exactly, but focused. I had a plan now. I had direction. That afternoon, I opened a new checking account at a different bank. I called my company's HR department and changed my direct deposit information. I started keeping receipts for every grocery purchase, every utility bill, every expense related to the house and kids. At home, I acted normal. Vanessa didn't notice anything different. Or if she did, she didn't mention it. On Saturday, she said she had to work. Said her team had a big presentation on Monday, and she needed to prepare. She left at 10 in the morning. Said she'd be back by 6. I waited an hour, then hired a private investigator. His name was Frank. He was recommended by Patricia. Ex-cop, professional, discreet. "I need you to follow my wife," I said. "Today. Document where she goes, who she meets, everything." Frank nodded. "You got a recent photo?" I showed him a picture on my phone. He wrote down her car's make and model, the license plate number, her workplace address. "I'll call you tonight," he said. He left. I spent the day with the kids, took them to the park, got ice cream, played board games at home. Frank called at 7. Vanessa still wasn't home. "Your wife didn't go to her office," he said. "She drove straight to a condo building in Lincoln Park. Stayed there for 5 hours. A man met her at the entrance, tall, brown hair, mid-30s. They went inside together. I got photos." "Did they come out?" "Yeah, around 4. They went to a restaurant in River North. Had lunch, held hands across the table, kissed in the parking lot. Then she drove home. I'm guessing she'll be there soon." "Send me everything," I said. "Already did. Check your email." I opened my laptop. The photos were there, Vanessa and Bradley entering the building, leaving together, kissing beside her car. Clear, undeniable, devastating. I saved them to the USB drive. Vanessa came home at 7:30. She looked tired but happy. "Sorry I'm late," she said. "The presentation ran long. How was your day?" "Good," I said. "Kids had fun at the park." She smiled, kissed me, went upstairs to change. I stood in the kitchen gripping the counter, forcing myself to stay calm. 2 more weeks. Just 2 more weeks. The next few days were the hardest of my life. I went through the motions, work, dinner, bedtime routines. While inside, I felt like I was screaming. Vanessa kept up her double life. She said she was working late on Wednesday. Frank followed her to the same condo. She said she had a team lunch on Friday. Frank photographed her and Bradley at an Italian restaurant downtown, their hands intertwined on the table. I collected every piece of evidence. Every photo, every receipt, every lie. On Monday morning, I met with Patricia again. I showed her everything Frank had gathered. "This is perfect," she said. "We have adultery, financial misconduct, and documented deception. We're ready to file." What happens next? We file the petition this week. You'll serve her with papers, probably at work to avoid a scene at home with the kids. Then we move fast, freeze joint accounts, request temporary custody arrangements, push for a settlement before she can regroup. Will I get the house? Very likely. Illinois courts favor the custodial parent, and given her behavior, you have a strong case for primary custody. She'll get visitation, but you'll have the kids most of the time. As for assets, we'll push for a 60-40 split in your favor, maybe better. I thought about Emma and Tyler, how this would change their lives, how they'd feel when they learned the truth. They loved their mother. They shouldn't have to choose. I want to protect the kids, I said. Whatever happens, they come first. Patricia nodded. We'll make sure of it. But Marcus, you need to prepare yourself. This is going to get ugly. Vanessa will fight back. She'll make accusations, try to paint you as the villain. You have to stay strong. I will. Good. We file Thursday. Papers get served Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, she'll know everything. I left her office and went to work. Sat at my desk processing spreadsheets, going through numbers, pretending everything was fine. My co-worker, Nathan, asked if I wanted to grab lunch. I declined, said I had too much work. That night, Vanessa asked if I wanted to watch a movie. We sat on the couch, her head on my shoulder again, and I thought about how easy it would be to just pretend, to ignore what I knew, to keep living this lie. But I couldn't. Not anymore. On Wednesday night, I told the kids I'd be picking them up from school on Friday. Why? Emma asked. Mom usually gets us. Just want to spend some time with you guys, I said. She seemed satisfied with that. Thursday morning, Patricia filed the divorce petition. I got the call at 11. It's done, she said. The server will meet Vanessa at her office tomorrow at 10. You should have the kids out of the house when she gets home. Take them somewhere for the weekend. Your parents' place, maybe. My parents live in Wisconsin, I said. 3 hours away. Perfect. Leave Friday after school. Tell Vanessa you're visiting family. Don't give her a chance to confront you in front of Emma and Tyler. I agreed. That evening, I packed bags for the kids. Told Vanessa we were going to visit my parents for the weekend. That Mom had been asking to see the kids, and I thought it would be good to get out of the city. This weekend, she asked. Kind of sudden, isn't it? Mom called yesterday. She's not feeling well. I want to see the grandkids. Vanessa frowned but didn't argue. Okay, I'll stay here, catch up on work. Sounds good, I said. She had no idea what was coming. Friday morning, I dropped the kids at school, then drove to my office. I couldn't focus on work. Kept checking my phone, waiting for Patricia's call. It came at 10:15. She's been served, Patricia said. Took it well, apparently. Didn't make a scene. But she'll be calling you soon. My phone rang 30 minutes later. Vanessa's name lit up the screen. I let it ring 4 times before answering. Marcus. Her voice was shaking. What is this? What the hell is this? You know what it is, I said calmly. A divorce petition? You're divorcing me? Yes. Why? What did I do? I almost laughed. You really want to do this over the phone? Tell me why. Because you've been cheating on me for 6 months. Because you've been stealing money from our accounts. Because you're a liar. Silence. Then, who told you that? I found the hotel receipt, Vanessa. I read your emails. I have photos of you and Bradley. I have bank statements showing the money you've been hiding. I know everything. She started crying. Marcus, please. Let me explain. It's not what you think. It's exactly what I think. Where are the kids? Somewhere safe. You can't keep them from me. I'm not keeping them from you. But they're staying with me this weekend. You'll see them when the custody arrangement is finalized. You bastard. Her voice turned cold. You planned this. You've been planning this. Yes, just like you've been planning to leave me for Bradley. She hung up. I sat in my car in the parking lot, hands shaking. It was done. I'd said it out loud. There was no going back now. I picked up Emma and Tyler from school at 3. We drove north toward Wisconsin, the kids chatting happily in the back seat, unaware that their world had just been shattered. My parents met us at their house with hugs and cookies. They knew what was happening. I told them everything 2 days earlier. They were furious with Vanessa, but kind to the kids. That night, After Emma and Tyler went to bed, I sat with my parents in the living room. "How are you holding up?" my mother asked. "I don't know," I said honestly. "I'm angry. I'm hurt. But mostly I'm just tired." My father put a hand on my shoulder. "You did the right thing. You protected yourself and those kids. That's what matters." I nodded, but it didn't feel right. It just felt like everything was falling apart. My phone buzzed, a text from Vanessa. "We need to talk. Face to face. Please." I didn't respond. Another text. "I'm sorry. I made a mistake. We can fix this." I turned off my phone. We stayed in Wisconsin through Sunday. I took the kids hiking, played board games, tried to keep things normal. They asked about Vanessa a few times. I told them she was busy with work. On Sunday afternoon, we drove back to Chicago. I dropped the kids at Vanessa's parents' house. They'd agreed to take them for the week, while I sorted out the immediate custody issues. Emma cried when I left, said she wanted to come home with me. I hugged her tight and promised I'd see her soon. Then I drove to the house, my house, technically, since I'd been making the mortgage payments alone for the past 5 years. Vanessa's car was in the driveway. I walked in through the front door. She was sitting on the couch, eyes red from crying. "We need to talk," she said. "There's nothing to talk about." "Marcus, please. Just listen to me." I stayed standing, arms crossed. "You have 5 minutes." She stood up, walked toward me. "It was a mistake. All of it. Bradley means nothing. I was confused, unhappy, but I never stopped loving you. You spent 6 months sleeping with another man. You stole money from our accounts. You lied to me every single day. I know, and I'm sorry, but we can fix this. We can go to counseling, work through it. For the kids. Don't use the kids as an excuse." Her face hardened. "Fine. You want the truth. I was lonely. You work all the time. You're never home. I felt invisible. So you cheated. I made a mistake. People make mistakes." "Not like this," I said. "Not for 6 months. Not with lies and stolen money and secret hotel rooms." She wiped her eyes. "What do you want from me? You want me to beg? I want you to sign the divorce papers and make this easy." "Easy for you, you mean? You get the house, the kids, everything. What do I get?" "You get visitation. You get half the savings. You get to walk away without criminal charges for the money you took." She stared at me. "Criminal charges?" "You withdrew over $15,000 from our joint accounts without telling me. That's theft. My lawyer can press charges if you fight this." Vanessa's face went pale. "You wouldn't." "Try me." She sat back down, head in her hands. "I can't believe you're doing this. I can't believe you did what you did." I walked toward the door. "I'll be staying at a hotel until the custody hearing. You can stay here for now. But come next month, I want you out." I left before she could respond. The next few weeks were a blur of meetings, paperwork, and phone calls. Patricia worked fast, pushing for a settlement before Vanessa could mount a defense. Frank continued documenting Vanessa's movements. She was still seeing Bradley, still lying about where she was going. The custody hearing was scheduled for early May. Patricia was confident we'd get primary custody, but I was nervous. What if the judge sided with Vanessa? What if I lost my kids? On the morning of the hearing, I put on my best suit, drove to the courthouse, and met Patricia in the hallway outside the courtroom. "Ready?" she asked. "No, but let's do it anyway." We walked in. Vanessa was already seated with a lawyer, a man named Kenneth, who looked expensive and aggressive. Vanessa wore a conservative dress, her hair pulled back, minimal makeup. She was playing the victim. The judge entered, a woman in her 60s named Donna Thompson. She had a reputation for being fair but tough. Kenneth went first, arguing that Vanessa was a devoted mother who'd made a personal mistake, but shouldn't be punished by losing custody of her children. He painted me as controlling, vindictive, using the divorce to hurt her. Patricia stood. "Your Honor, the evidence tells a different story." She presented the emails, the photos, the bank statements, showed the pattern of deception, the financial misconduct, the complete disregard for the family unit. Kenneth tried to object, but Honor waved him off. I want to see this. She read through the emails, looked at the photos, studied the bank statements. Her expression remained neutral. Then she looked at Vanessa. Did you have an extramarital affair? Vanessa hesitated. Kenneth whispered something to her. She nodded. Yes, Your Honor. For how long? 6 months. And did you withdraw money from joint accounts without your husband's knowledge? Another pause. Yes. How much? I'm not sure. Maybe $10,000. Patricia stood. The bank statements show $15,400, Your Honor. Anna looked at Vanessa again. Were you planning to leave your husband? I don't know. I was confused. Did you tell your affair partner that you wanted to leave? Vanessa's face flushed. I might have said something like that, but I didn't mean it. Anna set the papers down. Here's what I see. A mother who betrayed her family, stole money, and conducted a secret relationship while lying to her husband and children. That shows poor judgment and a lack of regard for family stability. Kenneth stood. Your Honor, my client made mistakes, but she's still a good mother. I'm not finished, Anna said sharply. The courtroom went silent. Anna looked at me. Mr. Marcus, you've been the primary financial provider for this family? Yes, Your Honor. And you've been actively involved in your children's lives? School events, homework, daily care? Yes. I work full-time, but I make time for them. I coach my son's soccer team. I help my daughter with her science projects. I'm there. Your wife's affair. When did you discover it? March. I found a hotel receipt. What did you do? I gathered evidence. Hired a lawyer. Made sure I had everything documented before I filed. Honor nodded. You were methodical. I wanted to protect my kids, Your Honor. I didn't want them caught in the middle of something messy. She looked at Vanessa. And what were you doing while your husband was being methodical? Vanessa didn't answer. You were continuing the affair, weren't you? Yes, Vanessa whispered. Honor picked up her gavel. I'm granting primary custody to the father. Visitation for the mother will be supervised for the first 3 months. Then we'll reassess. Division of assets will be 65-35 in favor of the plaintiff, given the financial misconduct. The marital home goes to the father. Kenneth stood. Your Honor, that's excessive. It's fair. Your client stole from the marriage, betrayed her family, and showed no remorse until she was caught. She's lucky I'm not recommending criminal charges. The gavel came down. It was over. I sat there feeling numb. Vanessa stood up quickly, her face red, and walked out without looking at me. Kenneth gathered his papers and followed her. Patricia put a hand on my shoulder. You won. I know. You got everything you wanted. Primary custody, the house, favorable asset division. I know. She studied my face. Then why do you look like that? Because my kids just lost their family, I said. Because no matter what just happened, Emma and Tyler are the ones who pay the price. Patricia nodded slowly. That's true, but they have a father who fought for them, who protected them. That's worth something. We left the courthouse. Outside, I saw Vanessa standing by her car crying. Kenneth was talking to her in low tones. I almost felt sorry for her. Almost. Then I remembered the emails, the lies, the betrayal. The sympathy faded. I drove to my parents' house to pick up the kids. They were waiting on the porch. Daddy, Tyler ran toward me. I picked him up, held him tight. Emma walked over more slowly. Did you and Mom get divorced? I knelt down. Yes, sweetheart. We did. Her eyes filled with tears. Why? Because sometimes grown-ups can't stay married anymore. But it's not your fault. And your mom and I both love you very much. Where are we going to live? With me, in our house, and you'll visit Mom on weekends. Tyler looked confused. Why can't we all live together? Because things changed, buddy. But I promise I'll always be there for you. Always. Emma hugged me. I held both of them, feeling their small bodies shake with crying and I wanted to take all their pain away. But I couldn't. All I could do was be there. We drove home. I made dinner, grilled cheese, and tomato soup, their comfort food. We ate quietly, then watched a movie together on the couch. By 9, they were both asleep, curled up on either side of me. I carried them to their beds, tucked them in, kissed their foreheads. Then I went to my room and finally let myself feel everything. The anger, the hurt, the betrayal, the loss. I cried for the first time since finding that hotel receipt. Cried for the marriage I thought I had, for the future I'd imagined, for the family that was broken now. But I also felt something else, relief. It was over. The lying, the pretending, the waiting for the other shoe to drop. I was free. The next few months were an adjustment. Emma and Tyler started therapy to help them process the divorce. They saw Vanessa every other weekend under supervised visitation. She came to the house to pick them up, never stayed long, never tried to talk to me beyond logistics. Bradley, apparently, had ended things with her after the trial. Didn't want to deal with the drama. So Vanessa was alone now, renting a small apartment in a different neighborhood, working her same job but with a damaged reputation. I heard through mutual friends that people at her company knew what happened, that she'd been having an affair with a coworker, that her husband had divorced her and gotten custody of the kids. The gossip followed her everywhere. I didn't take pleasure in it. I just wanted to move forward. I focused on work, on the kids, on rebuilding our life. We established new routines, breakfast together every morning, homework at the kitchen table, movie nights on Fridays. Tyler joined a new soccer league. Emma started taking piano lessons. Slowly, things started feeling normal again. Different, but normal. In August, I ran into Bradley at a coffee shop downtown. I was ordering a latte when I saw him in line behind me. He recognized me immediately, his face going pale. I paid for my coffee, then turned to him. "You must be Bradley." He nodded. "Listen, man, I'm sorry." "I don't need your apology," I said. "I just want you to know that you did me a favor. You showed me who Vanessa really was. So thank you." He looked stunned. I walked out before he could respond. That night, Vanessa called. She rarely called anymore. Most communication went through text or email. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Marcus," she said. Her voice sounded tired. "I need to talk to you about something." "What?" "I want to change the custody arrangement. I want more time with the kids." "No, please, just hear me out. I've been going to therapy. I've been working on myself. I made mistakes, I know that, but I'm their mother. They need me. They see you every other weekend. That's what the judge ordered. I know, but it's not enough. I miss them. They're my kids too. You should have thought about that before you cheated." She was quiet for a moment. Then, "How long are you going to punish me?" "I'm not punishing you, Vanessa. I'm protecting our children. You made choices that hurt this family. Now you live with the consequences. I'm trying to make things right. Then keep going to therapy. Keep working on yourself. But the custody arrangement stands." I hung up. My hands were shaking, but not with anger, with something else. Certainty, maybe. I'd made the right choice. I knew it now. In October, Patricia called me. "I have news," she said. "Vanessa's lawyer filed a motion to modify the custody arrangement." "She can't do that." "She can try, but given the circumstances, it's unlikely to succeed. I just wanted you to know, so you're prepared." The hearing was scheduled for November. Once again, I found myself sitting in a courtroom, facing Vanessa across the aisle. This time, she came without Kenneth. She'd hired a different lawyer, a younger woman named Carla, who seemed less aggressive. Carla argued that Vanessa had shown remorse, attended therapy, maintained steady employment, and deserved more time with her children. She presented letters from Vanessa's therapist, testimony from friends who said she was a good mother. Patricia countered with the original evidence, the affair, the financial deception, the pattern of lies. She argued that 6 months of therapy didn't undo 6 months of betrayal. Anna listened to both sides, then looked at Vanessa. "Have you had any contact with Bradley since the divorce?" "No, Your Honor." "Have you been faithful to the custody schedule?" Yes. Have you maintained employment and housing? Yes. Honor nodded. I'm going to make a modification, but not the one you're requesting. Vanessa's face fell. Supervised visitation will end. You'll have standard visitation, every other weekend and one evening per week, but custody remains with the father. Carla started to protest, but Honor held up a hand. Your client broke this family. She's made progress, and I acknowledge that, but the children's stability comes first. They've adjusted to living with their father. Uprooting them now would be harmful. The gavel came down. Vanessa's shoulders slumped. Outside the courtroom, she approached me. Thank you, she said quietly. For what? For not fighting the unsupervised visits. I know you could have. I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw someone broken, trying to piece herself back together. I still felt anger, still felt hurt, but also something like pity. The kids love you, I said. Despite everything, they still love you. Don't make me regret giving you this chance. She nodded, tears in her eyes. I won't. I promise. She walked away. I watched her go, feeling the weight of everything we'd been through. That evening, I told Emma and Tyler about the new arrangement. Tyler was excited. He'd missed his mom. Emma was more cautious, asking questions about where they'd go, what they'd do. You'll stay at her apartment, I said. She has a guest room set up for you. And if anything feels wrong, you call me immediately. Understand? They both nodded. The first weekend of the new arrangement, I dropped them off at Vanessa's apartment. It was small but clean, decorated with photos of the kids. Vanessa met us at the door. Hi guys, she said, her voice bright but nervous. Tyler hugged her immediately. Emma hesitated, then hugged her too. We're going to have a great weekend, Vanessa said. I thought we could go to the zoo tomorrow, maybe get pizza tonight. Pizza sounds good, Tyler said. I looked at Vanessa. I'll pick them up Sunday at 6. Okay. Thank you, Marcus. I drove away feeling strange, like I was handing over something precious and fragile. But I'd meant what I said. The kids loved her. They deserved a relationship with their mother. That weekend passed without incident. Sunday evening, Vanessa dropped them off on time. They seemed happy, tired, full of stories about the zoo and pizza and a movie they'd watched. Mom's apartment is small, Emma said, but it's nice. Good, I said. I'm glad you had fun. Over the next few months, the new arrangement became routine. Vanessa took them every other weekend, and I slowly learned to let go of some of the control. She was trying. I could see that. In January, a year after I'd found that hotel receipt, I sat down with my kids and asked them how they were doing. I'm okay, Emma said. It's different now, but okay. I miss how things used to be, Tyler said, but I like having 2 bedrooms. I smiled. The kids were resilient. They adapted. They survived. As for me, I am different now too. Stronger maybe. Be more careful. I'd learned what betrayal looked like. Learned how to protect what mattered. I thought about Vanessa sometimes. Wondered if she regretted what she'd done. If she ever thought about the life we could have had. But mostly, I didn't think about her at all. I focused on my kids, on my work, on building something stable and good. I started dating again, nothing serious. Just coffee with a woman I met at the gym. Dinner with someone from work. I wasn't ready for anything serious yet. Maybe I never would be. But I was okay with that. One evening in March, exactly a year after I'd found that receipt, I stood in the kitchen making dinner while Emma did homework at the table and Tyler played in the living room. The house was warm, filled with the sound of normal life. My phone buzzed, a text from Vanessa. Thank you for giving me a chance to be their mom again. I know I don't deserve it. I stared at the message for a long moment. Then I typed back. They deserve a mother who shows up. Keep being that person. She responded with a simple, I will. I put my phone down and went back to cooking. The past was behind me now. The betrayal, the lies, the courtroom battles, all of it was done. I turned the tables, secured my independence, protected my kids, and Vanessa, for better or worse, was left to rebuild her life from the pieces she'd shattered. It wasn't the ending I'd imagined when I married her 12 years ago, but it was the ending we'd earned. and I could live with that.